I think the market's reacting. What I look at is the fundamentals. Spent some time with some of the big players in the space over the last couple of weeks. And what I'm seeing is the fundamentals are there. We talked about Nvidia and CoreWeave at the beginning of the week and how that's underpinning the overall AI build out. Spent some time with some of the guys who are looking at the infrastructure and the power earlier this week. So I think from a fundamentals point of view, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. But I'm long-term bullish that this AI trade has got a way to go yet.
Okay, but characterize the journey for us, given some of the conversations that you're having, because no doubt everyone's very optimistic on the demand. We've heard about the Nvidia and CoreWeave deal, as you mentioned earlier in the week, but not to mention Jensen Huang's been over in Taiwan still hammering on about the fact that we need the energy, we need the power as well.
I spoke to a big equities and investment firm earlier on in the week about what they're doing, and the power generation guys are starting to realize. I've just also come from a meeting with Rick McConnell, the CEO of Dynatrace, one of those mid-sized software companies, trades with the ticker DT. We had dinner last night and spent some time again today in a closed door session. He's looking at where this AI is going, leaning into what they're calling deterministic AI. I think the takeaway for the market is, for me, we're now at the operationalizing phase of AI. This is starting to come through. Dynatrace operates in the observability market. We're starting to see this come through. A phrase that stuck for me that Rick said, was, we've gone from guesses to answers. And on top of that framework, we can build agentic. So lots to unpack on what that means in the technology, and Dynatrace made a huge amount of announcements. But I think for the overall trend and the overall market perspective, 2026 is going to be that build-out phase. We're going to see adoption. That underpins all of the mega caps that we're talking about. That's a Meta, an XAI, that's a Google, that's a Microsoft, that's a Broadcom, that's an Nvidia from a semiconductor perspective. The feedback I've got from Rick and the conversations I've had with him literally just came from a session with him, closed door session, and we talked about the market.
According to a recent Goldman Sachs report, artificial intelligence, AI, hyperscalers are expected to invest more than $500 billion in infrastructure this year. As capital expenditure budgets grow, developers such as Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta platforms share a same goal: accelerate data center buildouts. Let's look at how Nvidia is prepared to gain from these enormous AI-related infrastructure tailwinds in 2026 and beyond. 1. Nvidia, the all-arounder. The most obvious benefactor of increased infrastructure spending is Nvidia. Nvidia sparked the AI revolution 3 years ago, when big tech recognized the company's graphics processing units, GPUs, could be leveraged to create a wide range of generative AI applications. On the surface, Nvidia's GPU sales have skyrocketed, fueling an unprecedented increase in the company's revenue. However, sensible investors should focus on Nvidia's profitability profile. As the company's operating cash flow continues to rise, Nvidia has positioned itself to double down on its innovation strategy, introducing new GPU architectures every 18 months. While the company's current Blackwell series is regarded as the gold standard, Nvidia is already generating a significant backlog, reportedly in the hundreds of billions of dollars, as hyperscalers seek to get the company's newest chips, called Rubin. All of this to indicate that, while investments in training and inference continue to increase, demand for Nvidia's general-purpose chipsets does not appear to be slowing. Spending on artificial intelligence infrastructure is largely predicted to increase over the next few years. Leading foundry. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing expects its AI chip revenue to rise at a mid to high 50% annual rate until 2029, while ARK Invest fund manager Cathie Wood recently predicted that data center capital expenditures will triple to about $1.4 trillion by 2030. All of this bodes well for Nvidia, the AI chip leader whose graphics processing units, GPUs, are the key chips used to power AI workloads. The business has dominated the AI chip market with its CUDA software platform and networking range. It accounts for around 90% of the GPU market. Wood sees networking as one of the most rapidly developing components of AI infrastructure, which is good news for Nvidia. Last quarter, Nvidia's networking portfolio sales increased by 162% to $8.2 billion, greatly exceeding the 56% gain in compute revenue. Against this backdrop, consider where Nvidia's stock could stand by the end of 2030. The journey to $800 by 2030. Nvidia expects to make $213.4 billion in revenue for its most recent fiscal year, which ended in January. If it can maintain a 37.5% revenue compound average growth rate through 2031, about its fiscal year 2032, which ends in January 2031, its revenue will be around $1.4 trillion. This would result in 50% revenue increase next year, and a decrease to 25% revenue growth in fiscal 2032. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. If the company's adjusted operating expenses increased by 7% per quarter through 2031, fiscal 2032, and gross margins remained around 73%, and we applied a 15% tax rate to its operating income, Nvidia could generate more than $792 billion in adjusted earnings by 2031, fiscal 2032, or about $32.50 per share at its current share count of 24.3 billion. If you apply a 20 to 25 forward price-to-earnings ratio to the stock's fiscal 2032 predictions, its share price will be between $650 and $815 at the end of 2030 in 5 years. The following is a simple model of potential revenue and earnings growth. Many owners claim to be long-term buy-and-hold investors, but extreme volatility, economic uncertainty, and even lofty prices can put even the most experienced investors to the test. This has been the situation with Nvidia for the last half-decade. In early 2021, gaming accounted for almost half of its income. The stock fell 24% in January 2021, amid fears of a graphics processing unit, GPU, scarcity, forcing some investors to flee. The reality was substantially different, with Nvidia reporting a record quarterly revenue of $5 billion for its fiscal 2021 fourth quarter, which concluded on January 31, 2021. The stock defied critics that year, rising 125% in 2021. The celebration would be short-lived. Between November 2021 and October 2022, Nvidia experienced excessive inflation and decreasing economic development, causing its stock price to plummet by 66%. Fast forward to today, and Nvidia is a much different corporation. The data center segment, driven by demand for artificial intelligence, AI, is responsible for the majority of the company's fast revenue growth. In the third quarter alone, the data center business generated record sales of more than $51 billion, more than 10 times Nvidia's total revenue 5 years ago. Furthermore, management expects fourth quarter revenue of $65 billion, representing a 65% increase, indicating that Nvidia's growth story remains intact. Nvidia investors have seen firsthand the importance of holding through volatility. In fact, if you had invested $100 in Nvidia stock 5 years ago, you would now have $1,479 as of this video. That's a 1,380% increase. To be fair, investors could not have expected the ferocious demand for AI that continues to fuel its growth. Nonetheless, perseverance in the face of uncertainty can result in significant gains. As of January 30th, Nvidia's stock has risen 1,330% over the previous 5 years. This makes it one among the winners in the ongoing artificial intelligence AI boom, which is fueled by hyperscalers' ravenous demand for its premium data center chips. Investors might not be aware that this company began paying dividends in 2012. Here's how many Nvidia shares you'd need to receive $10,000 in annual dividends. Nvidia currently pays a quarterly dividend of $0. To earn $10,000 in annual dividends, investors would need to spend more than $47 million on 250,000 shares. That is a tremendous sum. The corporation reported a remarkable 56% net profit margin in the third quarter of 2026, which concluded on October 26th. So it appears that the dividend is safe, given Nvidia's strong financial situation. Nvidia is not a popular choice among income investors. Given its dividend yield of 0.021%, Nvidia isn't a top choice for investors looking to generate adequate income from their holdings. This viewpoint should come as no surprise. Instead, investors looking for huge upside are drawn to this stock. It makes sense, given that Nvidia's revenue and profits per share are predicted to grow at compound annual rates of 46.8% and 48.3%, respectively, between fiscal years 2025 and 2028. Nvidia would absolutely join in OpenAI's current funding round, but the investment will be nothing like $100 billion, according to CEO Jensen Huang. Huang declined to reveal the amount of the investment, but did say that it will most likely be the largest we've ever made. We would undoubtedly join in the next round of fundraising because it is such a terrific investment, Huang told reporters in Taipei. It is a terrific delight. Nvidia and OpenAI revealed in September that they had signed a letter of intent, which could see the chip giant spend up to $100 billion in the AI company. The Wall Street Journal reported on Friday that the investment plans had paused after certain Nvidia executives expressed concerns about the arrangement. According to the September announcement, the $100 billion was intended to fund new data centers and other AI infrastructure constructed with Nvidia components. They aimed for 10 gigawatts of computer power, which is about similar to New York City's peak electricity demand. According to Bloomberg, Amazon.com Inc. is in talks to spend up to $50 billion in OpenAI's current funding round and expand a partnership in which the company sells computer power to the AI firm. With the H200 now approved for import into China, investors are examining how access to this market interacts with current export regulations and larger U.S.-China tech relations. The move comes as cloud providers, internet platforms, and enterprise customers prioritize AI infrastructure spending. The clearance raises concerns among investors about how Nvidia's geographic exposure, product mix, and client concentration may change. It also adds another policy risk to watch, as future choices by authorities in both nations may affect the consistency, scope, and durability of this expanded access to Chinese customers. For Nvidia, Chinese approval of H200 imports opens up a vast AI data center market that was previously prohibited, but it also binds the company more closely to a complicated regulatory environment in both the US and China. Investors must now consider H200 China sales alongside other recent developments, such as Nvidia's extended collaboration with CoreWeave and sector alliances in healthcare, education, and logistics, all of which rely on the same high-performance GPU and software stack. Nvidia's storyline, which is priced for perfection, coincides with a policy shift. The new permission immediately interacts with current community narratives, which describe Nvidia as being priced for extremely high AI expectations and becoming increasingly vulnerable to policy and competition risk. Access to Chinese H200 demand may sustain such growth-driven storylines in the short term, while also raising fears that sanctions, customer in-house processors, and competitors such as AMD and Intel may eventually erode Nvidia's data center dominance. Risks and rewards to keep on your radar. Access to China's enormous AI market might sustain data center GPU volumes in addition to demand from US hyperscalers and cloud partners. The permission may alleviate some geopolitical concerns for Nvidia when compared to situations in which China completely blocks advanced US AI processors. The license is part of a complex web of US and Chinese export regulations, so future policy changes could limit volumes, purchasers, or chip specifications. Nvidia's concentrated exposure to high-performance AI technology renders it subject to regulatory actions, as well as responses from competitors such as AMD and large cloud providers' custom chips. From here, you'll want to see how much of Nvidia's AI data center story is clearly tied to H200 demand in China, and whether regulators in either nation change the terms of these sales. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
Then we had the rest of the names reporting. Which ones are you going to be looking at the closest? I mean, which has the scope to move the needle the most, and who's going to give us the most information as far as what's happening out there?
So we saw IBM yesterday come off the rank and report their Q4 earnings. Really impressed with some of the metrics there. I spent a lot of time with their mainframe team. Still a lot of juice left in that to squeeze. 67% growth of that mainframe business. IBM really tapping into double-digit growth for the first time I can remember in a long time. Then you look at some of the other names. I think Broadcom's going to surprise. I see some foundational elements there. They've now fully digested that VMware acquisition. Again, the mainframe business within Broadcom that was from Computer Associates, that continues to deliver. Spent some time chatting to the SVP over there. That business is still robust. So I expect to see good things from Broadcom. And then the other one you mentioned, Alphabet, raft of announcements from the team at Google, made announcements to Chrome earlier on this week, and agentically sort of invested in that platform. I think massively undervalued given the exposure. Everything from the Pixel devices. I've moved to a Pixel phone of late from iPhone. I think there's a story there specifically around AI at the device level, right through what they're doing with workspace and collaboration. Take it right through to frontier models. The corpus of data they've got with video, 2 billion users on YouTube. You know, I think it's 5 services that Google have got over 2 billion users and 12 services with over 1 billion users. That's a huge footprint, a huge corpus of data. I think Larry and Sergey getting back involved in the business on a day-to-day is driving the innovation there. I'm seeing a lot with Gemini, really impressed. So I think whilst there might be some short-term gyrations in the market, long-term bullish on Google's prospects.
Yeah, and look, Google has been getting a lot of praise for Gemini as well, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think it just goes to show, Stephen, doesn't it? You cannot be monolithic about tech right now. Really appreciate